Go.
What
ready.
is cracking, everybody? The Crossover Podcast is live here with K Mega and your boy Ham Solo 05 Gaming on the TSWS Gaming YouTube channel. What's cracking? Everybody in the chat, I see you too, Big K Asante, Jacob, Novik, and Big Mad Mo. Good to see you guys pulling up. I see some more people in the concurrent viewers or whatever. It's good to see you guys as well. Thanks for pulling up. K Mega, what's cracking with you? How you doing, bro?
What's happening, chat, man? Chat, Holmgren, let's go. Carlson, let's get it. Wallace, yo, thunder up, baby. OKC, let's go. Other than the really bad news about the survivors from the Tulsa massacre, got their case just dismissed for reparations, which saddens me and disgusts me to no end. But that's in Tulsa. That's not here in Oklahoma City, but still, you know what I'm saying? Oklahoma politics is trash. But let's go, the Thunder. Let's go. But I'm here. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to get into some good conversations, man. Other than that sad stuff. But let's get to it. Ready.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for coming through. K Mega, good to see you again as usual.
Always,
definitely going to be talking some shit to you because you deserve it. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. Unfortunately, as you see, has it happened yet? No, it hasn't. Okay, Mega, what are your initial thoughts waking up and seeing? I mean, obviously it's on the West Coast, so it's a couple hours
right
earlier than it is here for us. But like now that it's, it's 1 o'clock here, it's 1:30 where we're at. So obviously 11:30 in San Francisco right now. Where is your head at for this case? Do you think that there's still a high probability that we hear something today? Do you think that we may hear something later on down the week? Do you think it could last a little bit longer than a week? I doubt that, but I'm just kind of pushing this question onto you. How do you feel about it so far, brother?
No, from the end of the court hearings on the closing arguments at the very end, they said that it will most likely be between the 7th and the 12th. So that's why I was like, there's no reason to have GRG, because I mean, it's kind of a light time after like the showcases and things like that. It kind of just usually I take those breaks. And so unless, we find something else. So I wasn't expecting to hear anything until sometime this week. I'm like, it could be Friday. If it's that quick, then it's kind of a unanimous situation. But reading some things that was basically about the documents that she has to put together and everything. It's 100-page, it's 100 pages. So that's going to take some time. Even if she got staff that's going to help her with it, that still is going to take some time. On top of that, like I was explaining earlier, is that these people have relationships, right? And so, it's not like this is going to be the last case that she's going to have seeing these people from the FTC or seeing these lawyers from Microsoft. It's just one of those things where they have relationships, and so she wants to be as thorough as possible on which side is going to be right, which side is going to be wrong. And like I said, she wants to cross the T's, dot the I's, want to make sure everything is legible and understandable. And so that's why I was always thinking that it was going to be sometime this week, and they said the 12th. So I mean, that's Wednesday, but I mean, it could stretch out no later than Friday. But I think by the 12th, I think we will hear something, and at that point in time, then we'll be in a position where Xbox gamers are going to be doing a lot of trolling, or is going to be a lot of Xbox gamers are going to get trolled on. The one biggest thing is, hey, it's not that big of a deal either way. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The sky is not falling. We're still going to have great content coming out this year. And you've seen what Xbox is going to be, what Xbox is cooking going forward. And it's like when I made a My Thoughts video last week, I just said, this could be the best of two worlds is how you perceive it. If the ABK deal doesn't go through, then Microsoft is going to be very aggressive on everything else. and that could be for like our boy Everborn Saga to go ahead and get Sega, for them to really go ahead and try to pursue to get Sega, and then just everything else. Maybe a CD Projekt Red for somebody who like me who would love to see that, and just Focus, all that. And then if on the other end, Xbox will go ahead and get the ABK deal, and Game Pass will get Call of Duties. You get all of that, all of those games that's in that library. That's tons and tons and tons of content, and get that stuff on Game Pass. And then Xbox can get into the mobile space where they're really trying to get into that point. And then we're talking about a different game being played where Xbox can really fight to try to get to that mind share and compete with Sony. So we'll see how it all plays out, but it's not the end of the world either way.
Yeah, no doubt. One thing I kind of wanted to kind of put into perspective that you just got done speaking on is that, like, how much they need to make this airtight when they come out and speak on it, because it's just like, yo, Microsoft is up against a deadline, and then at the same time, the FTC is powered by the American people.
Right.
So these two things can't drag at all. It can't be a decision that's there's some holes in it. It needs to be solid and absolutely thorough. So I'm not surprised that it's taken a little bit longer than we all had thought or anticipated at first. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, I mean, I feel like I'm speaking for a lot of people when I say, can we move on?
Right.
And I think that's just the kind of the main sentiment that's out right now.
No, I mean, I'm ready for it to be over with as well. I think, but see, gamers won it yesterday, and that's just now how the courts operate. You can't put your gaming ideology into the court system or into anything government or anything like that. They take their time. For some people, like in a position, if you're hurt and you on workman's comp, you're like, no, I need this 3 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? Or if you know what I'm saying, if on disability, any type of those things like that, compared to somebody that's maybe having a lawsuit or just for the stuff with the ABK deal, this stuff takes time. They all take time. The government moves at their own pace. The courts move in their own pace. And so for gamers that wants to get the information right now, wants to find out, all anticipating like this was, a E3 event, it doesn't work that way. It's just be patient. It's not like we ain't got games to play. We're not, we got plenty of stuff to be entertained by. There's some gaming stuff to definitely talk about. We'll be talking about it today. So, I mean, it's just one of those things. I know that everybody, even myself included, wants to get this over with to see, what my social media feeds is going to look like going forward, what my videos is going to be like going forward, things like that. But other than that, just be patient, and it'll come this week. So we'll it's not like we got to wait another month or so. So here this week we'll definitely find out, and hopefully, like they said at the end of the at the end of the trial, between the 7th and the 12th. So hopefully we'll be done by the 12th.
Okay. Well, I do know that there's been some pretty interesting information that's came out, because one thing that this whole case has had is a lot of side news.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
That has you just kind of like man, the laundry in this case is filthy. Like, from all sides. We've seen dirty laundry from Xbox. We've seen some dirty laundry and some dirty blows from PlayStation. We've seen some money hungriness, dirty laundry from Activision. I mean, look how they did Xbox, right? You're going to pay this deal. You're going to get this deal, right?
Bro, man.
Also, not only have we seen all this dirty laundry from all these different areas, I mean, even Nintendo and Nvidia's out there making themselves, look like uncertain or not knowledgeable when in fact they just may not even deal with that stuff in the certain way that they are being asked if they conduct business. Does that make sense to you, K Mega?
Oh yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Okay.
It makes perfect sense.
But one thing I wanted to bring up that I thought was wild is that this is even airing out the government's laundry. Like, bro, like this right here, I'm gonna pop up on the screen. Lena Khan goes to Congress. What's up, K Mega? What do you feel about seeing this, bro? Like, what's up with this? And see, I know you've been talking about it for a little bit. You're just like, yo, because I know you're. I mean, I don't want to get too political, but I know you're like a Democrat or like you lean more left, right?
Yeah,
which is fine. I'm not here to judge. I don't care what anybody does. I'm not into politics like that. But Lena Khan, everybody says Democrat. Everything's Democrat for in that dimension. But even you were kind of like, yo, like I'm not sure if she's even making the Democrats too stoked.
No, like I commend her fire. Like, I mean, I understand why she got the job. Because, I mean, what you hear, because I have listened to her in the first hearings with the Republicans. And I've come and I've said this, like, I mean, I just feel that at this point in time, not because of the whole Xbox situation, I just look at it from as an American, and I'm looking at foreign companies doing what they want to do, allowing in the rest of the world is allowing them to do what they want to do, even United States, but then want to hamper on an American company that is in third place or that's only had a true strong footing into the gaming space during the 360. And even at that point, they still didn't outdo Sony overall in sales and things like that. But then you look at this and then you see that she's hampering progress because two American companies wants to merge. And listen, regardless of all the people that's making all the complaints and saying that this is bad for gaming and all this, Activision chose Microsoft. ZeniMax chose Microsoft. It wasn't like Microsoft was the only suitor and just slid extra money. Actually, the whole point of the matter is the Activision deal, they could have made more money, but they chose Microsoft. So if two companies wants to merge to make a better playing field for both of them, because obviously Activision sees something down the road to where they feel like they need to be acquired. Same with ZeniMax, same with Bungie, same with all the rest of these entities out here that's been purchased or acquired, however you want to label it. It just makes sense. Like, I get the point if Microsoft was the market leader and then they wanted Activision. I can see the whole FTC reason. But what Linda Khan is doing is, to me, is... You always say
Linda. It's Lena.
Lena. Sorry. Let me be country. I got to do it. I got to do it at least once a week. So, but let me be country.
I swear, from now on, anytime you say Linda, I'm going to go...
Thank you. Anytime that I'm wrong on anything, if I'm trying to pronounce something or announce something or anything, just hit me with it. I need to get my soundboard back. Thank you. I appreciate it. But Lena Khan. I've been calling her Miss Khan. But I'll just Miss Khan. Let me just go back to that. But no, I just feel that her desperation of wanting to get the FTC a win, it doesn't make the Democrats look better for this overall because it's against American interest. And rarely, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm a Democrat. I'm not a blue dog Democrat. I'm more liberal. But I'm not a person that does not agree with some Republican thoughts on things within the country. I mean, some things, very few, but not a lot. But on this one, I do definitely side and hope that the Republicans nail her to the wall, and and Uncle Joe will go ahead and see that she needs to go. Yeah, Uncle Joe, get her out of there, bro. Get her out of there, Uncle Joe.
You said Uncle Joe. I thought you said Knuckle Joe, like that fist. Like he
Uncle
got that
Joe,
fist. So
Uncle
it's
Joe
like,
Biden, go
damn.
ahead and take her out, man. Go ahead and take her out, bro. But no,
I
I
say,
just no,
throw
I
a
just
blow and
think,
take a
yeah,
nap.
yeah, no. I just think personally that her desperation, and I think that if they do more investigation, that they'll find out that she's been doing some colluding, man. It just doesn't make
Uh-oh.
sense that the CMA and then of course Canada is all a part of that. But the article that you presented from the Washington Post, I mean, that is a very heavy right wing publication. So I take it with a grain of salt. They're going to sprinkle their little dust on it, do it like that. You know what I'm saying? Do the little dust thing. You know what I'm saying? Put a little bit of that red meat in it. But I mean, there's no question. I feel personally that she's just not the right person for the job. She needs to be a little bit more open to things instead of just trying to desperately find a win for the FTC and go against big tech. Because I do feel that big tech should be regulated and looked at. But I feel that you have to take every circumstance and look at it logically. And this was just one of these things of just desperation of just wanting to try to get a win, and she's seen that this was probably her best chance of getting a win, and I don't think she's going to get it personally.
Gotcha. So before I get into the article at all, because I'm gonna read a little bit of the article, and whatnot. But before I get into that, I wanted to acknowledge people in the chat, and then also let you guys know that hey, we are partnered with YouTube now. We do have memberships available. The $2 membership gets you all the like emojis and if you show up on Friday's show, you're eligible for the little sweepstakes thing that Loke does at the end of every show for a $10 gift card, and then on top of that, we have the $10 membership that gets you like kind of behind the scenes video of what we talk about and stuff like that before, like behind not before Behind Them Six, but before bullshitting and whatnot. We have a few episodes up right now with Nukem, and then also with Pixel Bit G and some of the stuff that Cozy be saying behind. I'm saying, it'd be interesting. So definitely come through, check it out. We have those memberships available, and then we also have super chats available. But anyways, to acknowledge those people that are here, first of all, I obviously want to acknowledge those of you that are the members of this show, which I really appreciate. Those of you that already, I mean, we've only had memberships for like not even a week, and we already have a good amount of people in there, which I'm really proud of. So thank you, Sir X-Man, Ray Chi, Jacob Novick, Silent Cypher, Matt Likes Games, Blind Giant 808, Too Big, Brody, or he also goes by Brodacious 23. I have Ray Chi in there twice. That's fine. I'm just gonna leave that like that. And then Boogeyman and Just Mel. Thank you guys so much for being part of the TSWS crew. Y'all either got some taste. Don't do that face, K-Mag. I seen that. Y'all big time out there. I appreciate y'all. I love it so much.
Oh, man. Good deal, brother.
But anyways, keeping it moving. And then I also want to acknowledge those of you that are here in the chat right now. I see Kay Asante, Void Lock, Back from the Dead, Stanley Francois, Hard Days Mike, Sergeant Sentinel Gaming. What's up, Steve? Let's see. Sour Blow. I see. I don't know if I'm missing anybody else, but I'm gonna keep it moving. But yeah, let me go on ahead into this article now. So it says let's see. Yeah, so it says, I'll just go on ahead and read the whole thing. It's not that long. Federal Trade Commission Chairwoman Lena Khan is set to testify before the U.S. House Judiciary Committee on Thursday. Khan, a name now synonymous with a contempt for constitutional norms, has refused to turn over documents to Congress. This act echoes that of FBI Director Christopher Wray and places Khan under the shadow of potential contempt of Congress charges. Yikes. These actions are not merely political jousting, but have significant implications for all Americans. Um, it says the FTC is one of the most powerful agencies in the country, holding the authority to govern every single business in the nation. A once widely respected bipartisan commission is now run by Democrats after Khan's corruption. Corruption drove all Republicans. Let me see where is this where is this made from? Okay, let me see. Okay, so this is. I'm just double checking the site real quick because they're already saying some pretty interesting stuff. I, you know what I'm saying, K Mega?
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean,
I'm like, whoa.
Oh yeah, you see the Restoring America right there? That's that MAGA stuff, man. That's you got to watch out for that stuff, man. Listen, that red
Okay,
meat
so this is
bad.
Washington Examiner. So
Yeah,
just keep that in mind.
Probably might be subsidiary for the Washington Post, which is very high, very right leaning. Which that's fine. I mean, news.
It's fine. It's just like when you hear this stuff, you should always double back and know where you're getting it from, so you can understand the direction that they're leaning, so you don't just get pissed for no reason.
Right. I think the Washington Examiner is like a sidebar to the Washington Post, but it is what it is. I mean, look, I'm not here to defend Linda Khan for what. Yeah, the news is the news. You take it for how you want to.
Oh my God, K Mega, you done did it again.
What did I do? Oh, Lena Khan, Miss Khan. Damn it.
All right. So anyways, continuing forward. Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah. A once widely respected bipartisan commission is now run by Democrats after Khan's corruption drove all Republican commissioners to leave. But the consequences of Khan's actions extended far beyond mere congressional subpoenas, political feuds, or integrity bureaucracy. They're affecting the daily lives of consumers and business. Simply put, let me scroll this properly. Simply put, Khan's policies. Oh my goodness. Simply put, Khan's policies hurt our pocketbooks. Oh my goodness. Before her tenure at the FTC, she became famous for writing a paper where she complained about Amazon's prices were too low. What? Prices too low? That's bad for consumers.
That is very bad for consumers.
This anti-consumer approach seems to have carried over to tenure at the FTC. The agency's once consumer-centric now prioritizes fair competition, a term that appears to be a guise for implementing policies irrespective of consumers' impact. These changes don't come without cost. Under Khan's, the FTC has taken an adversarial stance against businesses working to block key mergers such as Illumina, Grail, and Meta within, even against the advice of FTC's own staff. That's interesting. Such actions hinder consumers grappling with inflation, and many even restrict access to cruel medical treatments. 1 second, K-Mega.
He told me, hold on. Okay. Soul Hackers. Hey, how are you liking Soul Hackers, Big Mo? Because I enjoyed it. It's not Persona, of course, but it is. But I enjoyed it for what it was. I enjoyed Soul Hackers too. I need to go back and play the first Soul Hackers again. It's been so long. But I was glad to see it actually come to Xbox. And it's on Game Pass. I bought it day one when it came out last year, but yeah,
I
no, I thought it was really
apologize.
cool. Oh no, it's all good. It's all good. It's
I
all good. I was just
apologize.
asking. I seen somebody
My
say they was
daughter
playing
thought it
Soul
was
Hackers.
my daughter thought it was okay to be banging on my door while she knows I'm in the middle of doing something. Mama out there, to go talk to mama. Leave me alone. But anyways,
Oh man.
continuing the article, moreover, Khan's policy shifts have led to increased fraud related costs for people. Since Khan took over, people suffered a huge surge in fraud, with consumer financial losses to imposter scams skyrocketing 300% since she took the helm. This led to a 8.8 billion hole burnt in pockets in 2022 alone. They are reaching for some interesting statistics.
Yeah, come on now. Yeah, continue,
you,
please
you
continue.
see,
Yeah,
you see what's kind of going on?
yeah. They
I'm not here.
They try to push it.
I'm not here to say that like Khan should be there. I'm right there with K Mega that like, yo, Khan, you need to go. Like, you're not helping anybody. but
Yeah, they're reaching pretty
this
good.
is definitely some interesting reaching points.
Yeah, they're talking about votes. I'm reading through it as well, and they're talking about zombie votes. There they go. Like, they're going left. They're going left. They're going left. So, all right. But no, there is a reason why.
I think we got the gist here.
Yeah, we got the gist here. Lena Khan. Lena Khan.
Oh, snap. Hey, Mega,
Miss Khan. Yeah. Well, yeah, got a little bit. Lena Khan, she, like I said, I love her determination, but I just feel like her direction and her thought process on everything since running the FTC is just. It's trying to get a win for the government instead of trying to really pay attention to each entity that she's trying to stop. Like, I mean, for the Meta case, could definitely understand that. For the Illuminal or whatever, the Grail thing, which I don't even know what that was. I mean,
Illumina Grail.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but regardless, they both lost. So I mean, those companies both won because Meta, of course, is Zuckerberg stuff with Facebook. So hopefully she'll be 0 for 3, and then Microsoft will get the edge. I mean, it makes perfect sense. But I mean, I do agree with the fact that what they're saying is that it's bad for consumers because if you look at it, we're talking about Game Pass. We're talking about a better opportunity for gamers to get access to this. And a little side story. This just happened last night. My wife's friend came over with her son, and this kid, he's like 15 years old. Seems like he's really trying to do something. He's in band. He's playing sports. He's doing all this. So anyway, they were doing some kind of corporate stuff, charity, so they could help out my wife's friend's school. So long story short, then the mom said that the kid's mom said, "Oh, he's a big gamer," and so then of course my wife had to say, "Oh, so is he?" And so it was just giggling and talking, and then so he looked at me like, "Oh wow, word!" Like, and so we started talking, and then he was talking about Diablo, and then because I was talking about I was playing Diablo 4, and then so he was like, "Really? How is it?" And I'm like, "Oh man, you ain't had a chance to play." He says, "Man, I love Diablo 3." He says, "But I got it on PlayStation." He says, "But I got a PlayStation 5." And so I kind of looked at him. I'm like, "Well, just buy the PlayStation." I said, "Just buy the game." He said, "I would, but I have to pay for it again." And I'm like, I forgot about that because of the policy, like if, the older games, not all of them gets transferred over and you got to pay a fee for it. And this kid is over here trying to do a fundraising so he can pay for his band, for other things. And so he's talking about how expensive games are. And so, long story short, so I was, I did mention about Game Pass, but I wanted to just tell him like, hey man, it should be. You can tell your parents it's only I think about a $10 charge if you already own the game. So maybe you don't have to buy the game again. But it just comes back to this whole point about the consumer getting fleeced. because of just from the article, is that like what Game Pass does is, and what the FTC is trying to do is trying to make people feel like Game Pass or services is a bad thing for consumers, and it is not. Actually, I feel it is the total opposite. It is for like when this kid is over here doing all the right things, but he can't, but you know what I'm saying, his family got bills to pay, things like that. They're not looking to get him a $70 game every time that pops up. So when you have a service, that means that it can help, you know what I'm saying? It just helps the family all together. The kids stay happy. They can sit there and still stay motivated doing what they're doing, instead of them feeling like they're working and busting their tail trying to do the right thing, and then they still don't have enough to pay for a $70 game. That's why I feel that services and what Xbox is doing is a testament to being very consumer friendly, in my opinion.
Okay. You just got a paycheck.
Thank you.
You just earned a paycheck. There you go.
Xbox Illuminati, baby.
No, that stinks though. That stinks though. To hear that, you know.
Yeah.
Just trying to play the same game and can't even do that, you know.
Right. Yeah. Kind of just that. But I didn't want to go into full. You know what? Just get an Xbox. You don't have to worry about, because that's not. He got a PlayStation 5. He enjoys his PlayStation 5. I was just trying to tell him, as a gamer, look, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't have to buy the game again. Maybe you just don't have to pay $10 and then just go that route. But, you know, I did feel bad for the kid, because he really was like, man, I love Diablo 3. He says, I would love to get Diablo 4, but I know that I can't ask my mom and dad for $70. So he's just going that route. So it's just a crazy situation, man. Crazy situation.
Yep, is what it is. But getting a little further into what you were kind of just, I mean, that's kind of a good transition right there.
Yeah.
You were just kind of talking about, you know, the things that aren't really provided for the PS5 or the PlayStation console, and how the Xbox does have that, but obviously you're not going to shove that in that person's face. Right? Now let's talk about it the other way around. Why is it that anytime Xbox does anything, and here's the next topic, in fact, why is it anytime Xbox does anything, it's hit with a ton of scrutiny, but something that's not very consumer friendly, like what you just got done talking about, gets overlooked completely? I'm curious, please.
Yeah, I mean, it's jealousy. It's pure out jealousy, man. I mean, there is not a PlayStation gamer out there that wouldn't want PlayStation to do their version of Game Pass. That's why you still see that when they talk about PlayStation Plus, which is a much better deal than Xbox Live Gold by a mile now. I would say by from New York to LA distance, because of how good that service is. That's why they brag about that. And that's why they kind of want to throw those jabs and say when PlayStation Plus has really good games dropping, and they say, oh, the best service, because they want what the Xbox gamers have when Game Pass. They want it. They want it. I mean, these were some of the same people that would brag about going and getting games on Redbox. How is it now that they all of a sudden tell you that you need to force yourself to buy games when you can go ahead and you can pay a monthly fee and pay more games economically, logically, just anything? Just the sense of you trying to force gamers to put this mindset that you need to buy every game day one that you want at $70 per click or more, instead of saving you money and paying $120, $140 a year and having all this access to hundreds, almost 400 plus games, new games at that just doesn't make any sense. And any PlayStation stand that would tell you that it's bad, just always remind them about what about the times when y'all would brag about Redbox? Wouldn't that be bad? What about when you would go to GameStop, which I was one of those people that did it, just like mostly everybody that's listening and everybody that will listen, and you as too, including him, go to GameStop, trade our games in to get another game, and the developers didn't get anything off of that. That money was directly from, was going straight to GameStop. How is it that those things were fine? Because because people still do it. I mean, of course, physical copies aren't as viable as it once used to be, because digital is running the game now. But how is it that those things were good, knowing that they told you that what devs told us that, hey, look, we're not recouping any money from that, but we know that the developers, before they put these games on Game Pass, they're getting paid. And that's still not a good thing. Everybody is doing well on that aspect. So how is it hurting gaming? How is it that you would sit there and you would not like subscriptions in video games, but you or their spouse or their girlfriends, boyfriends, or whatever, family members, they all have some kind of subscription service to Netflix or to Hulu or to Disney Plus or to Peacock or to whatever.
Here's one example, actually, K Mega. Like, when Xbox just recently came back out and said Grand Theft Auto's coming back to Game Pass, it was immediately, oh, that game's been out plenty long enough. Because a lot of people were like saying, as soon as that hit, I thought games, or Game Pass made games worse or something like that, or like devalued games or something like that. And then people would say, oh, well, this game is however many years old. What does that matter? And then people say, but the statistics showed that even though this game was out, just like when it came into Game Pass last time, what was it, just a few years ago, right? That it came into Game Pass last time, and it wasn't the S and X version. See, a lot of people are skipping right over that part.
Right.
It was just the regular version of Grand Theft Auto 5. That game had a good boost in sales, but then it was that rip it away moment that really got the game cooking. Because once it got taken off of Game Pass, all the people that didn't buy it, and all these people want to say, oh man, this game has been out for this long. At that point, when it was put into Game Pass, it was like 6 or 7 years old. So it had been out for a hot minute.
Right.
And then when they took it back out, that game shot up in sales again. So it's just telling you how many people are still out there that don't have the money to buy Grand Theft Auto, even with all the sales that happen. Or people that flat out forgot and were like, oh, snap, I'm going to pick this up while it's on special. Or, oh, it's leaving Game Pass. I better get it while it's on discount right now. Or, man, I just had a blast the last couple of months. And I tell you, I don't want to not have that experience anymore. I tell you what, I had, and if you guys rock with me, you've heard this story before. I'm gonna make it nice, short, and sweet. Last year, 2K22 came out to Xbox Game Pass. Remember that, K Mega?
Oh yeah,
2K22, yeah. Bro. That game had me locked in on Game Pass. I was playing it every night. It left Game Pass. I'm sweating. And of course, it leaves Game Pass right before the new one comes out. I'm at GameStop hitting up bro on the phone like, yo, this 2K22 is mad cheap right now. Should I get it? And he's like, bro, 2K23 comes out in a week and a half. Chill. And I was just like, I don't know. I ended up buying 2K23 on launch. And that all manifested because of Game Pass.
That's right.
And that's it's just crazy how that works. So you think about games like Grand Theft Auto, which are much more, in my opinion, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but it's more popular to me than the 2K is, or at least the name is.
Oh yeah, no, but no, definitely.
So
Yeah.
so with that being said, and then all the microtransactions, I think people spend more probably on shark cards than they do in 2K for PC. How do you think
Oh
about
yeah,
that?
that's it. Well, no, I mean you're absolutely
I mean,
right.
that's
I mean, yeah,
that's interesting though, because it's the same publisher, right?
it is.
So it'd be an interesting thing to think about. But I'm just thinking, like, man, that game with the big name as it is, as reckless as it is, the tenure that it's had without slowing down too much is just insane. And now they bring it back to Game Pass, and a lot of people say, "Oh, it's old," but forget that it's an X and S version where it's all nice. It has what was it, the like ray tracing with 60
It has ray
FPS version or
tracing
something
and
like
it's
that.
60. Yeah, it's ray tracing with the 60
Man,
FPS. Yep.
it is a good looking game, and it's still fun. It's just, are you tired of it or not? That's kind of where it ends up being. For me, I've had my fill. I'm not that excited about it being in Game Pass personally, because I also own the game. I own it on Xbox and PlayStation.
How many times did you buy that game?
I'm not excited. Like 3 or 4.
Yeah,
I bought it
3 times. Yeah,
I bought it physical, just gave it to a friend, then bought it digital, and then bought it for the PS5. So 3 times. So 3 times at least. At least.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I've had my fill with that game. I'm good. But I tell you what, bro. I tell you what, a lot of people haven't. And as you said, K Mega, casuals, as much as we want to sit here and be on our high horse and talk about all this game and stuff and how much knowledge we got and yada yada yada, and this console does more than that, it doesn't matter to the casual. The casual is who runs the game, and they do it they do it blindly.
Right.
They do it blindly. So So I'm saying all that I'm saying. And I could sit here and tell you how garbage or how stupid it is to not get a Grand Theft Auto game in 10 years, and it's going to be over 10 years when it comes out, way over 10 years at that point, maybe 11 or 12 years. And it's just like, bro, it clearly doesn't matter what I think.
Right. It doesn't. Like, that's what I was saying to a lot of people, is like, the casuals are going to, and it's, I mean, us as gamers, like, we're the ones that's going to just kind of put it in perspective of, like, with the PC master race gamer, they're going to buy the best, the biggest, the best, or close to it, right? Like, I mean, how many of us has been in a party and everyone is talked about getting a 4080 or something at that point, like, you know, Matt picked up a 4070. Then you got you got Mike, who got a 4080 just like I did, and then you over here was contemplating it, but then you was like, no, I'll wait until the 50 series. But that's the thing, like, right there, like, we are, and people that listen and that is consuming gaming content and us and listen to us, we're not the ones that they're worried about, because we're going to be there regardless. Even if we transfer and go to a PC eventually, we're still going to be a part of the Xbox ecosystem or the PlayStation ecosystem. That's just the way that it's going to be. And most of us will probably buy a new Nintendo console. We always will get a second console. You know what I'm saying? Some people, the diehard will get a third console. The casuals, they only get one console, and they only pick up a couple of games a year. And it was just like that kid that was talking about, like, because he liked Diablo 3 so much, but he said, but he found his love into Fortnite, a free-to-play game. I remember when all the people was up in rage, like, free to play is gonna destroy the gaming. Man, listen, free to play. You can look at free to play as like reality television, but what do we see all the time is reality television. You know what I'm saying? And so it's no different in free to play games when people that aren't trying to be invested in spending $70, even though that they might spend more money on Fortnite than that $70 game that they want. That's not how they're wired. They're thinking like, well, I'm still playing this game and I'm just buying cosmetics. So it's a weird situation. I mean, I'm not trying to down anybody that feels like you got to buy every game and you don't want to get a service. I wasn't trying to make that point of saying that people who feel that way are wrong, because it's your money, you do what you want to. But I just don't like the fact that people talk about services as a bad, as it just being the ultimate evil, but then yet they support other services within their household. And to me, that just doesn't make any sense. And I'm knowing the fact that some of the people that proclaim that this is the doom and gloom of gaming, if Game Pass was available for PlayStation and Nintendo, everybody would eat that up. All the gamers would eat that up. It's just too good of a deal, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously, dude, I love me some Game Pass,
right? Man,
but awesome. I also love being able to buy games and like I get the physical sentiment or like the sentiment of just flat out owning what you purchase. Right. But hey, I tell you what, somebody says, "Yo, come over to my crib every Tuesday. We grilling." We got, we got all assortments of different kinds of food. We got ribs. We got the mashed potatoes, everything. All you got to do is give me $2 each time.
Woof. Woof.
$2 for a plate every week. Okay, Megan. If Spriggs Barbecue came through and told you that $2 for a plate subscription service right there, obviously.
I'd be in some trouble because me be on this diet. I'd be in some trouble. Okay, Megan will swell up again. I'll get back to being the big as I was, because I would be over there every Tuesday with $2. I might give them an extra $1 just because. Yeah, man, there's no way. Every week I'm there.
And the SPRIGGS. You dealing with Mr. Spriggs, you deal with the best. Oh,
let's go.
Man.
Hey, Mr. Spriggs Barbecue, it's always. Let's go. It's tender, baby. Let's go. Meat falls off the bone. I got this man singing an Oklahoma commercial of Mr. Spriggs. That is amazing. Oh, man. Y'all got to check out the commercial, man. Mr. Spriggs Barbecue. Look it up on YouTube, man. It's Oklahoma owned company. Yes. Fantastic. Fantastic. When the white dude, COVID took him out. But when the white dude rolled up and said, man, start lip singing, I was dying, bro. That was such a great video. Great video. Oh, man.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right. Okay. Silent Cypher with the $2 super chat says, come on over to the house, buddy. We cooking, brother.
Let's go.
All right. Hey, let's get it cooking. Let's get it hot.
Hey. Meat falls off the bone.
I like some barbecue, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Love me some barbecue. Love some brisket, man.
So we talking about good stuff, right? But unfortunately, we got to turn right back into the negative a little bit. This is one of the last two topics that we have. And this one, where actually I think K-Mega might have something that he might want to speak on. But anyways, oh God. But anyways, so I'm telling you, I was on Twitter yesterday and I ran across a interesting bit of I guess something that happened on a podcast not that long ago, and I wasn't really feeling it too much. I believe you were pretty you're fairly privy of what I'm talking about. You know exactly where I'm going with this. Shout out to Dragonheart Yogis. Welcome to the memberships, brother. Thank you so much. Got himself some taste. I appreciate you, bro. But well, I don't know what you pausing.
What? Get a taste.
Get taste. You got some taste.
Oh, what? Okay.
What? Anyways.
What?
Okay. You sound like Tim the Toolman Taylor. You better chill out. But anyways.
Oh, man.
Anyways, I had a little rant, but I'm not going to go on. I'm not going to read the rant yet. I'm going to go into what was kind of going down. So Mr. David Jaffe, right? Him, Colin Moriarty, and what was it? Mr. Matty Plays. They had a podcast, all three of them together, and they were talking about and I don't remember how exactly they got to the specific topic,
right?
But
Yobi said he done. Get him out of here. Oh!
Anyways,
oh man.
So they were talking specifically about they got upon the topic talking about influencers and like people that are within the gaming industry and stuff, and how weird, and I don't know why they thought it's weird, but how weird it is that us as fans or content creators are meeting or hanging out or having breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or conversations or pictures or whatever with other, either developers or people just within the company. But the thing that I find funny about this is nobody said anything until it was Xbox. It was Xbox, and then it was like a weird combination to me. I'm gonna go there, K-Meg. I'm gonna go there a little bit. I'm gonna touch on it. It's like a mixture of Xbox and a brother. And it's just like you put that mixture together, and I'm sure, and I know that they were talking about Colt Eastwood and Aaron Greenberg and all these guys having breakfast or whatnot. But when I seen the hyper focused moment for David Jaffe to pick up on a brother over here,
and a sister,
you're questioning their authenticity. Like if you listen to what he said, which I might play it here in just a moment. Yeah, actually, I will play it here in just a moment, just to kind of give you guys a good idea of what I'm. But let me actually go find and K-Meg. Actually, while I look for that, I want you to kind of expunge what you took away from this when you initially saw it, because it's just like, why are we complaining about this? This is basics, especially with one of them being a developer themselves, knowing how fandom works, knowing that you've signed CDs, you've signed merch, you've taken pictures. You've been to parties, you probably had breakfast or lunch or dinner with somebody or something like that. You are on people's podcasts now. To this day, you were literally just on a podcast talking about this. So the whole thing doesn't make sense. And one of the excuses, all right, but before I continue, because I'm getting deeper and okay, Megan, go on ahead, brother. Go on ahead, brother, and please talk about it a little bit, so I can pick up or so I can look for or find what I'm looking for.
All right. I find it troubling. I've been finding things like that troubling. I gave Jaffe a pass when he did the whole nightclub rant and brought up, black people and things like that, and then talked about, homosexuals and stuff like that, shooting. I'm like, and I gave him a pass. I'm like, look, man, these guys are creative. They probably have to go into dark places in order to try to make a game and then kind of elevate, and just say, okay, take that layer off, take that layer off. But the biggest problem that I did have with it was the fact that you went after Cognito and you went after Sarah Bond in that sense, right? Like, I mean, I got to go there too. I mean, and people, if you know me, I don't hold too much back. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I know me and Ham is doing this. If this was on my channel, I wouldn't even hold back anything, but I'm going to hold back a little bit, reserve a little bit. But this just takes me to the whole situation with Halo 5, with the lock situation. And yeah, there's people that generally probably just don't like Halo 5 because of the fact that the story didn't mesh with them, or, when Locke and when Team Osiris went out and took out, a high ranking elite, and he's supposed to have been a lot more powerful than that and all that. I get all that, right? Like that's fine. You can dissect that part right there. But, me going back and reading those comments when they were talking about Palmer back in Halo 4, how she talked to Chief and they called her out her name. And then the same things about what Locke is, about this black man being in trouble, being the forefront over Master Chief. It's there. It's no different than the whole situation of working with PlayStation fans. And I don't want to just put this out on PlayStation fans like that, but I just know what they say, and I should say PlayStation fans, but I should say stands. And when they come out and they say this stuff about, well, they call us coons and corporate slaves and all of these ridiculous notice of trying to make it seem like that PlayStation is the console for people of color. Well, Xbox has a representative that is a woman of color, a black woman. That's something you don't see in a high ranking position in gaming. You just don't see that. You just don't. And I've watched videos from people saying, well, she looks good, but she just doesn't seem too bright. I wouldn't want her to be the leader of Xbox if Phil Spencer decides to leave. Now, this is coming from some small channel hillbilly. I got to find that, and I'll send it to somebody to let you. I'll send it to some DMs to let people see it so they know I'm not lying about stuff like that. But I couldn't believe it when I heard those things. There's an issue. There's an issue. Listen, there is no. They hate to say it. But there's an issue that still arises, no different than when you get and you start and play Call of Duty and somebody's calling you the N-word. It's no different when you go in there and they talk about when somebody just wants to say the most vile, disgusting things to you on the internet, for Gas being Pakistani, or for me being black, or for anybody else for being so, or a woman being a woman. There's still this ridiculous child mentality that video gaming is only supposed to be for a certain group. Like they can't stand, like they're calling more diversity in gaming woke. What the hell is that? You see it also in entertainment. And some things I can see some people having some arguments about stuff. But to me, overall, it's just the whole thing going back to Jaffe. Pointing out Cognito, one of the nicest, salt of the earth brothers that you ever want to meet. Every time that I've met Cog, he has been absolutely high stellar. I mean, everybody from the Iron Lords that I've talked to has been on the level. You know what I'm saying? I mean, King David is more rah guy. You know what I'm saying? But he's still a decent ass dude. You know what I'm saying? Attic, a decent ass dude. All these guys are decent people. And Cog especially, to be singled out when he doesn't even play the console war like that. Like King David and Attic plays it a little bit. Sovereign, he's a PC guy, whatever the case may be, but that's how they mesh and that's how they work. But to make that point of view and just to point out that picture the way that you did, and then to act like, even though you just was on their podcast not too long ago, couldn't remember Cog's name. Yeah, I'm tired of us getting that low key, you know what I'm saying, and then getting that low
It's like a
key,
little low blow.
yeah, that low key low blow, and then you got people that wants to defend them. Oh, y'all trying to say everything is this way, everything is racist and everything. No, the bullshit. The truth it is. Listen, I made a video years ago about Battlefield 1 of how happy I was. You see that black gentleman right there behind on this other side of me. Well, because the camera is different from where I was. Right here beside me. That's from when I bought Battlefield 1, the collector's edition. And there were some people that told me that there was no black people that fought in World War One. They were nothing more but cooks. Now, for the majority, yeah. But they're the Harlem Hellfighters, they weren't just cooks. And they tried, and I mean, like, you can go and check out that video. That video is probably way deep because I mean, this was years ago, for like 6-7 years ago. But you read the comments, it's there. There's people that has a problem. And yeah, they'll go after Colt. They'll go, I'm seeing that because that's just part of their things. But to me, while the fandom situation is so asinine, because it's just like what you said, Ham, there's somebody that David Jaffe and Colin Moriarty and the other guy, there's fandom everywhere. There's always somebody that you meet that you like, man, that's amazing. When I met Ed Boon, amazing. Of course I'm going to geek out. I love fighting games and got to sit there taking pictures. I got tons of pictures from when I went to E3. You know, I'm standing with people from Remedy. I'm standing up there with David Jaffe, with their pictures with Phil, took pictures with Kiki. You know, Matt you know I'm saying, Matt Sarabon. You know I'm saying? Like, what is this? Like, as gamers, we can't express our love and do work at the same time? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's the whole point of why we do this. When we get to a point to where somebody acknowledges you for the work that you've done, for me having a small channel like I do, and then you have Phil Spencer coming and saying, I know who you are, we watch you, or Aaron Greenberg hits you up. And I mean, you know what I'm saying, when you having a conversation about something and Aaron Greenberg will respond back to you, or will respond to you about something, or will help you about something that you're looking forward to, or anybody else within that community. You play games with these guys. This is what I said in my Thoughts video last week. There's a lot of jealousy going on. Because there's a lot of people that just don't like the fact that they can't talk to their I wouldn't say idols, but the people that they enjoy and feel like they're great representatives. And I mean, this is what's really crazy, because Jeff Keighley does the biggest fanboying for Kojima like I've never seen. Nobody, I mean, we do make fun of it in a sense of like, but we understand it. Like, this man got a love fest for this guy, and the guy sit there seems like he has a love fest for Jeff Keighley. I mean, he put Jeff Keighley in his game. But in the sense of him being a fan, nobody is trying to make that into a thing to where it should be looked at as being bad. It is a sad, disgusting situation, and I feel that, look, man, you know, it's what I said earlier, what I said yesterday. I said Cog is going to have his head high. He ain't going to sit there and go down low and say anything. He don't have to. The Iron Lord's success will sit there and will outweigh any of that bullshit that was said on that podcast. And sure enough, what did David Jaffe do? And listen, when you sit there and you know you made a mistake, you make a video to double down. Hey, and that's exactly what he did.
You know, I'm going ahead and get into that now. I'm going ahead and show off the first video, and then I'm going to go straight into the second one when he kind of realizes that he fucked up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you won't be able to hear it, but the folks will.
The sense that, like, I don't think you'll ever see Colin Moriarty out there in the world at a breakfast with Scott Rhodey smiling like, isn't this cool that we got to eat breakfast with Scott Rhodey? Like, there's a wall there that I think allows us to be able to go, he doesn't give a shit.
Like, I'm trying to think, in my defense, I'm trying to think of a picture of me with an Xbox exec. I don't know if I have.
No, I'm thinking of the one recently.
With Redfall that.
I'm sorry, but I got to stop right there. You see what they just did on that panel? Do you understand what just happened a little bit? Jaffe and Colin both cornered Matt into being like, I don't think I did anything. I don't think I did any. That's some bullshit.
That's
I'm
trash.
sorry, but that is some bullshit.
Trash.
You shouldn't have to feel like
No.
you shouldn't have to feel like, oh gosh, like I'm being looked at differently, or you know what, I have these guests on. You shouldn't have to feel like you're appeasing these guys.
Right. Right.
Like that's one of the reasons. I tell you what, I'm a big fan of football, right? I'm a big fan of football. I like the Broncos. If I was able during Peyton Manning's run to shake his hand, not even in the playoffs, just regular season time, just shake his hands and be like, bro, I'm a huge fan. I've been watching you since you were in Tennessee when you lost to my Huskers. but like, I've been watching you since Tennessee, bro. Like, I'm so happy to be here. I'm a huge fan. Now, what they're talking about is a little different because they're saying, oh, but you report on news and stuff like that, right? So it's just not okay. And I just think that's insane because
I mean, look how many times we see these
news
people...
person. Like, let me just use this for example. Shannon Sharp and LeBron James.
Yes. Yes.
How about that? Is that a problem? I know a lot of people give Shannon Sharp flack because they say, "Oh man, because you love him a little too much."
Right.
But to me, that's no different than Keely and Kojima.
No different.
No different. And you know what? Nobody's saying Shannon Sharp's credibility is docked.
Nope. Nope.
You know, so like, in my opinion, I'm just like, not only is this affecting COG, but this is also affecting the way Matt's even presenting himself. You're being shy to be honest. And that's not the energy that we need. I'm gonna finish this and I'm gonna continue.
What's his name? He's on Iron Lords. I love him.
COG.
Yes. He did one with Sarah Bond recently. But there were many. It wasn't just him.
Yeah.
Tons of these pictures of lots. There was Aaron Greenberg at the sense that, like, I don't think you.
All right, so there's that one, and then the other one that I was talking about, which I'm just gonna go through here. Okay, so before I read what I said, I'm going ahead and let this play because this is 3 minutes and 45 seconds or 46 seconds of nonsense. Just nonsense. I had a comment that I read under my post that I thought was perfect. The dude said, I read it and I literally learned nothing. I like it was one of those, like, what was it, Happy Gilmore moments where he's like, you just made everybody out here dumber. But let's go ahead and get into it because this is interesting.
That's what I look like when I wake up. Not much different.
It's some pedaling.
Lord, I'm tired.
That's what it is.
I got up, started working, and I saw the people saying, well, Jaffe, Colin had breakfast or dinner with Shu and all this shit. Yeah, fair enough. I had not seen those pictures. What I will say, and I did say this on Constellations, is, you know, I made sure to point out that it wasn't like a nobility thing either. It's like you're only as sort of noble as your privilege allows. And now, at this stage in his career, you know, obviously Colin doesn't need to do all those things. And I made sure that I said that and making sure, you know, that I made that clear about myself as well. It's like, I don't have a problem turning down interviews or whatever if it feels like it's not integral to the brand. But that's a place of privilege. Frankly, that's a place of financial privilege. I can't speak to Lord Cognito. I don't know what Iron Lords, or I don't know what his financial situation is. None of my business. And for him, that may not have anything to do with it. He could be the richest fuck in the world, and he could still be like, yeah, but I still want to do this, right? But in the case of Colin, though, certainly I respect his position as it relates to Last Stand Media. But yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, I didn't know those pictures were out there, but when you show them to me, I go, yeah, I don't like those pictures either. But like I said in my follow-up video, and like I said on, I think, Constellations, I'm a purist about this stuff. But I can be well, as a customer, I think everyone should be a purist about this stuff, unless you are doing like where Cognito was telling me, he said, you know, or I think this was his video. Again, I'm tired. Fuck you. Where he's like, you know, part of Iron Lords is a celebration. It's not just reporting the news or analyzing the news. We're celebrating this stuff. And in that, I'm like, okay, that makes sense, right? And I like Iron Lords quite a bit, and I've been on their show, but I don't watch enough of it to go, I knew that was one of their mission statement pillars. But when he explained that, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, makes sense. But yeah, I mean, with for me, I'm a purist about it. I just would prefer there to be a really thick iron wall betwixt the subjects people opine on and the opiners. And certainly, I'm sure philosophically, I don't know how Colin felt back in the day when those pictures were taken, but I definitely know now from talking to him and hearing him speak that he's a believer in that. And philosophically, I am as well. But anyway, I just want to make that clear because people were pointing out the pictures like, gotcha. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't like those pictures either, but I don't see Colin doing them today. I just find it, you know what I'm saying. Happy Sunday! Don't forget, if you're interested, I'll be on the Leadus podcast today.
We don't know what
video
you're saying.
game show about video games, trivia show. It's a game show, and I'll be competing with a member of.
I don't need to hear his advertisement. I'm good. I'm good on that. Like, bro, that was trash.
No, absolute trash. The backpedaling was absolute piss water. Like, I mean, the reality is that, look, he knew that what he said was wrong. And it's just like what King David has said as well, is like, look, you know who to pick your battles with. Because King David would have had a response. Cognito was not that type of dude. So of course you're going to go to, you know, Sarah Bond is not going to sit there and say anything. But you're going to sit there, or even just, you know, like, and Colt's not going to say anything. Like, I mean, but this is the thing like that. See, like, again, regardless if you like me, hate me, whatever, they ain't bringing K-Mega to their shows because K-Mega fight his ass off. You ain't going to sit there and beat my legs in. You ain't going to sit there and talk crazy to me. The last time I was on one of them podcasts, I was on King Thrash podcast. All of them took L's. And you know what? I got blocked by all of them. Sick humor, all of them clowns. All of them. Thrash still sits there and you the chap with what it is, right? He came over to GRG. We sit there and kept it civil. He said crazy stuff. The chat was letting him have it, but I let him give a chance. They didn't let me try to have any type of voice. See, they like this type of drama. They want this type of craziness. Instead of them talking about the games that has just been coming out on their on the console of their preferred choice, they rather talk about the things that they seem to be despised of, right? And what does that say about the product that they so love so much when you're talking about everything else the other company does? That's in so-called third place to them. That is irrelevant to them. You know what I'm saying? So to me, this is the type of smut that they feed off of.
I got you, King.
This is what they
Just a
like.
second.
Yeah. What'd he say?
No, he said he wanted to hop in real quick.
Oh, hop on in, King. Yeah, no, this is the type of smut that you have to say. But again, I find this to be
get this up off of the screen.
Yeah, low key, just out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? We know what this is. There is no question about it. And you went after somebody that you knew that wasn't going to. And then when they picked up on Cog's partner, for him to sit there and I'm pointing the finger at him too. You should have been standing up for your boy a little bit more. That's just my question on it. You know what I'm saying? And listen, Jaffe apologized. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody took the high road on it, which, you know, as adults, you should. But the damage is already done, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you're going to sit there and you're going to come on those people's show. You're going to say you love them, but then you say you don't watch them. You don't participate into what they do, and that's fine. But then yet you sit there and you will listen to you'll listen to a podcast that is all about smut and all about the hate and division. But then yet you won't listen to what a real podcast sound like. That sits there and just talks about things that are that gets gamers to think and to talk and to evaluate. And I'm not saying that because I support the Iron Lords. It's just the fact that when you listen to some of these podcasts that Jaffe's been on and to when you listen to the Iron Lords, it's night and day, bro. It's night and day. So again, to me, is that look, when you sit there and you talk about fandom, to me, everybody has it. Everybody has somebody that they look up to or that they admire, that they would like to take a picture with, that they would like to sit there and they would like to pick their brain. And for them to now, for Colin to sit here and to say like, well, I was all about taking pictures with Yoshida and with whoever else and all these people when he was a hyper fan, I guess, to now saying, well, I don't believe in that stuff is flat out bullshit. Bullshit. Because if you was a fan then, you're still a fan now. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's wild, man. Yeah, so yeah, King's gonna be popping through here in just a moment. Gonna take my time with him, but before then, I'm gonna go on ahead and just read the thing that I said about this whole thing because I listened to that whole thing and I was mad. I was honestly mad because like I do this stuff. I interview people and stuff like that. So like hearing what he was saying, he was pretty much going for like people like like people like me that are out here trying to talk to new people. We're trying to learn more about them. Also, give people a good idea of who they are or the kind of stuff that they bring or I interview content creators, developers, regular gamers. I've interviewed several different types of people. That's cool and all. But when you're challenging my authenticity,
right?
That's when I'm like, yo. That's when I'm just like, yo, I can't with you.
No.
So
I mean,
so
we can't be a fan. That's what. So we can't be a fan and do. It has been said and it has been known. And then when King David comes on here, he'll definitely let you know as well. When you go to E3, you can see that you can see it. I've seen it firsthand where there's content creators that goes up to some people that's in the media, go and talk to them and say, look, man, I would like to do an interview with you. I would like to do this. I would like to do that. And they would give them their card. And the first thing to do when the people walk off, they would sit there and they would take the card and throw it in the trash or throw it on the ground. The media acts like the content creators, and I can understand in the sense of them looking over their shoulder because there's some content creators that's coming and even surpass them in views and likability and things like that. But whatever happened to the media, I mean, to the point of where being a fan, but also doing your job and doing your job well is a problem. Like, for instance, this isn't only just about, let's say, about an Xbox guy like Cog. Let's talk about like Hip Hop Gamer, a good dude in the community. If anybody would sit there and talk bad about, he has a PlayStation guy, but he's great guy.
To me, his content is at the utmost of disrespected.
Yes.
Is at the utmost of disrespected. I don't know how you have people like Denzel Washington, Nicolas Cage, big time rappers, head of business dealings with Asus and LG and all these different big companies, like big companies. And I look at your page and you have like 70 views. And it's not something that you stumbled into recently. You've been doing it since 2013. And somehow you are still not getting seen.
Right.
Like, to me, that asks even a bigger question. Right? But continue on with what you're saying, bro.
Well, no. I mean, you just hit it like that. I'm just saying, like, there's so many people out there that has that fandom and that comes out there and they do it the right way. They don't come out here and they don't do the trolling or whatever. But and like King David was saying in the chat, like, I mean, he didn't come after me. You know what I'm saying? You damn right he didn't come after you. You're gonna say something back. They know who to pick and choose what they want. That's why when they go and they pick some of these so-called Xbox guys and ladies and they have them put them on their podcast, they know that they can convert them and make them seem like that they were true Xbox gamers and changed up or whatever the case may be, or just in the sense of when you get in here and you try to put somebody on the podcast that is strong-willed, that is not going to take no shit, that's not going to, they don't like you. And then you're black on top of that, or you're a strong woman that can game, maybe even outgame some of those dudes on that panel. They don't want none of that. They don't like it. They hate it. They can't stand it. And it makes me sick to my stomach that even in today, in 2020, goddamn 3, we still got to face, still got to face that type of scrutiny or that type of vile grossness for whatever reason. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Why? When did it become that you can't be a fan of something but then still do a job? It's not like when Kai gets up there and he don't know what to do when he's talking or when he's doing interviews or when he's working or when he's doing his stuff. It's not like that. What are you talking about? When Colt does his work, Colt doesn't do his work wrong. Colt does some of the best work we've ever seen. What are you guys doing when Gaz does his work? Gaz just makes some of the best damn videos I've ever seen. His content is high level movie shit. But yet, because if he wants to do interviews with, or he wants to sit there and take a picture with somebody, or let's just say somebody like Tim Dog, for instance. Tim Dog is a great guy. Great guy. You just got to sit there and get to talk to him and meet him. Great guy. And yeah, he'll troll and he'll take it just like he'll give it. But you sit there, but you take, oh, look at him. He's this and that, and he's this. Come on, man. Stop this. We're all fans. Every last one of us. All of us as gamers, people that's in the industry, they're fans of somebody as well. There should not be this type of fuckery going on in gaming content at all. At all. There should not be a developer or anybody to tell you that you cannot enjoy your craft and do your craft right and not be a fan as well. It just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. Tragic.
Trying to get David in here. It says that I sent him the request. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we seeing all your business. Go ahead. Welcome. Now I can be over here sitting here.
Oh, there it is.
Instead of you seeing me squirm on GRG.
There we go.
Man,
all right, we're all good now. We're all
right
good now.
There we go. Hold on now.
There we go.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
My cameras are all messed up, but I can fix them. I ain't worried about it.
There we go. Yeah.
What's popping, bruh?
All right. So I come from my midday work, and I get in, and I always like to look at my favorite people. Always do. And I was like, hey, Mega, my man Ham Solo on? You best believe I'm showing up. All right. So I come
Let's
in,
go.
and I'm gonna keep it a buck. Dudes don't understand exactly where this thing came from and the genesis of it, right? I can go back to I'm the one that was pushing for Jaffe to get on Iron Lords. Me, right? I'm a super fan, bro. I'm not even gonna sit here and cap. Like
Yep, I'm a
you
fan too.
saved the PlayStation when the PlayStation was like, I keep him in the same reverence that I keep the upper echelon of Xbox content makers, like developers. But he was single-handedly doing it on the PlayStation. What people don't know, people look at him as some old goof dude right now. That's get off my lawn type of dude. No, he God of War, Twisted Metal.
Twisted
This
Metal.
dude was the soundtrack of my PlayStation. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And that's why me and him share a lot of the same tropes when it comes to what they did to Kratos. They emasculated Kratos, and we share that. But before he got on the show, I told him I was the one that pushed for you, bro. I said, don't make me look bad by cursing. Now that is out of the way, because everybody felt that he couldn't do it, and I was really happy that he did it. Anytime we go to these shows, why didn't nobody talk about the picture of me standing there with Todd Howard? Why didn't anybody talk about the picture of me standing there with Phil? Why don't anybody talk about my gamer tag with me drinking a mimosa, standing there talking to Phil? Why don't anybody bring up the fact that I tell everybody, every E3 that I go to Fan Fest, why don't they ever bring up the fact that I'm talking to Phil? Why don't they talk about when I was talking to Mikey Barra? Why don't they talk about when I had the roundtable talking to these people individually? Why don't they bring up these facts? Why? Because K-Mega said it himself. You thought you picked the easy person that wasn't going to say anything. I tell everybody all the time, each and every Iron Lords, if you think we all the same person, if you bring that out. Me, I'm a little bit different. I came up on a little bit on the rough side or whatever, and I don't really give a hell. I'm not your friend. I'm not your buddy. This is our business. This is a company. This is an LLC.
Go.
All right. So we're trying to get a bag. So if we're rubbing shoulders with guys that's millionaires and stuff like that, I'm not a real fan of you, bro. I'm trying to get to where you at. So I'm trying to pick your brains. If you ever listen to anybody that's making money, what can we do for each other and how can we make this happen? So if you're not trying to put yourself in a room with individuals that are making more than you, that can partake some knowledge on you or do anything that can help you attain someplace else in life, then you're doing it wrong. You're hustling backwards. Now, he happened to be in a situation, in a place where they were eating. Every E3, K-Mega, how we do. We get to E3,
Yes,
who's outside? Make the phone calls. Yo, we're going to go eat at such and such lobby. We're going to go be here. What hotel you staying in? First of all, my thing is each one teach one, and I always protect my homies. So if you in a foreign land, what I told you, K, when you was there that time, you good? Where you staying? Where you at? If you have any issues, let me know. I got homies there. So they in the lobby eating. Aaron walks past. Aaron's not a fraud. Aaron went and copped a Hold the Line shirt with his own money. He posted. He had to do none of that. So when dudes sit there in front talking about, we trying to smooth up to execs, listen, half these execs follow me. I'm in none of their DMs.
Facts.
Not one. If you had a good interview, I'll probably shoot you a DM, good interview. That's it. Not, hey, what can you do for me? None of that stuff, because at the end of the day, my grind is going to define me, right? My integrity is going to define me.
Talk it.
So if you're going to sit there and you're going to question my integrity, then you question my morals as a man. That's something I cannot stand for. That's something that won't happen. But like K-Mega said, you pick an individual that you thought that wasn't going to say anything, or you don't understand the dynamic of the team. Now, the fact that some of the dynamic is kind of skewed in a fashion that my man is over there, he works with these individuals, right? And, this guy is on the show, and it felt like the conversation went into ambush conversation for
like
for
Ham
Matt,
said. Yep.
right?
Yep.
That's exactly what I was saying. Like, he was defending what he shouldn't have to defend.
You shouldn't have to defend,
Right.
but see that you don't have to defend the person that doesn't need defended, right? Because he's looking like you ain't even got to question that dude more. You bugging, right? So I understand it at that moment. He didn't understand what it was going to turn into. Nobody did. You know, I'm laughing at these dudes talking about we part of the Illuminati and all this other goofy stuff.
Right.
But what happens is when you're isolated in your little castle and your Discord is throwing out the vomit that they regurgitated from the internet with other fake kings running around here and other fake podcasts that live on controversy and dudes that need to say stuff to get clicks popping and to make up false documentaries and all this other stuff, what these dudes is doing out here. I had these statues when we started, B. Each and every last one of these statues is 1,000 and better. So if you're gonna come, I got a bag full of jewelry right here. Come on, man. Don't come for our integrity. We're not paid from that. We're paid from other things in life, and we're trying to transform this into the mainstay. But what you put into something, you put love, you put care, you put integrity, you put understanding, and you put togetherness. We feel that all high tides raise all ships. There's no podcast too big and there's no podcast too small for us to have the conversation. There's no individual not important. We have eye doctors on. We have therapists on. We have lawyers on. We have people from all walks of life that partake in what we love, our video games. This is a celebration of individuals that are about that, what we game. So when you attack that, you're really attacking yourself if you're from this. Right? So
and that's what I didn't get, because he was literally attacking what he's doing at the moment.
You gotta look at it. You've been ostracized. So now you're looking at everybody that's on the inside and you're like, that burns. I used to be there. I used to eat there. I used to this used to be my spot. I used to work the room. He'll tell you, I used to work the room. You're being worked. Nobody being worked. Don't get it messed up. We go there, we break bread, we have conversations, we find out information. We have a website. Yo, we'll link, we'll do this. There's a waiting list. He knows it. You was on a waiting list to get in. So don't cap. Don't do that. But you was in your ivory tower and they regurgitated vomit to you. So you're going off of secondhand knowledge and you said some stuff, and it's cool because that same picture was flashed around and thrown around. Right? Where's my pitch at? And I don't care. You pick and choose your battles. And there's some dudes will pick me for attention. And I know you dudes. I already told you. Get a job. Go get a job. Because if you're worrying about platinums and you're worrying about this, I don't got time for that. I'll put my games on easy mode and I'll beat them when I get it. I don't care. But this other stuff that we talking about, this game in life, this friendship, these bonds, I got footage of K Mega and Tim Dog doing the most incredible. We got stories and conversations that we have that we don't have to print because we're making memories. We're building bonds. So if I go to his town, I know I'm good. If he comes to New York, he knows he's good because he broke bread with me. He understands where we from. He came to the compound. He understands these things. You would not understand if you're not on the end. And if you're on the outside looking in, you're going to hate. You're going to feel a certain way because you're not part of the cool kids. Just remember the time you was at the school lunch table and you was sitting by yourself and you saw the other kids having fun over there. You did one or two things. You wanted to be included and you went over there and you was like, hey, I'm so-and-so. Or you hate it. I'm going to build my own clique. I'm going to try to tear him down. That don't work, B.
Never does.
So all I wanted to say was, it was a dung that turned into a mountain, and it's stinking to high heaven. And when anybody questions the integrity of my it's my cousin, that's my family, that's my business partner, that's my ace. When you question the integrity of the individual, that I'm gonna tell you something, man. Ever since a kid, you cannot question his integrity. That's the only person that you can't do that to. Like, you just can't. I don't find any flaws in that character. He's the dude, I'm telling you, like when it's in the background, something you're going through personally, and he knows he's gonna check up on you. I tell him I gotta be better at that. I'm not good like that. I got to be better at that. So I try every day to be a little bit better at that. It bothered me to see the ignorance. Then it bothered me that it had to spill in Maddie's plate. Then it bothered that it had to spill in Colin's plate. So Colin had to fix it. Hold on, B. I used to do that too. I got pictures with this dude and that dude, and we had dinner at my house, blah, blah, blah. Boom. So now you got to backtrack because you didn't fact track when you started.
Mm-hmm.
You regurgitated information, and there was dirty vomit that you regurgitated. Stay away from that crowd because that crowd ain't going to give you what you want. There's a lot of dudes that's out here using that same tactic, and that tactic doesn't work well because what you're doing is cutting off more bridges. So how can I tell my team, yo, bring so-and-so back on when you did this? You're going to sit there and be disingenuous with what Lord Incognito. Bruh.
He act like he never seen him before.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I said earlier. And I'm sure that David heard me when I said it. I said, how you going to sit there and act like disrespect them and say, well, I don't really listen to them. But you wasn't, like David just said, you were on a waiting list. Bro, so you knew what the Iron Lords were. You knew that this was trying to help you because, like, at the end of the day, this is all business. And he seen that the Iron Lords is a popping podcast, and so he's like, well, I need to get my face out there. But the thing that you said, King, that was the absolute most goated was the fact that you said, look, he got ostracized. He's no longer one of those cool kids no more. Sony gave him the boot. And as much as I have much love for David Jaffe's work,
I love
even for that game that he had drawn together, I bought it, I supported it. I even defended him when he was in there talking about the whole, like, you know what I'm saying, when he's talking about the club and what if it's a whole bunch of black people got shot or was a black person killed a whole bunch of homosexuals. I was like, man, yeah, when he said that stuff and that was the first controversy because even PlayStation fans was like, hold up, bro, what are you doing? I still defended him and saying, look, man, he's a game developer. He's probably thinking, take off the layers, whatever. But this right here, this was the next level because not only he went after Cognito, but he also had to post a picture of Sarah Bond, a sister, a black woman that is represented in gaming when there's not enough black women represented in gaming as it is. And to me, that is disingenuous. And like you just said, like I said, you went after the nicest person out of the group. He didn't go after you.
No, but what you said was something that was kind of key.
Mm-hmm.
Was there another black person at the table?
See? Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about
it. Listen, that's a can of worms. I'm gonna trust you when I tell you this. That's a can of worms that you don't want to pull.
Right.
But when I say this, and I say this for those that are initiated and definitely see past the veil. Don't fall for the false flags. Look for what they see, for what you see. First picture was the decoy. The second picture was the real. See it for what it is. All right? And understand it for what it is. It's time that certain rhetorics need to be abolished. It's time that certain rhetorics and certain norms needs to be cast aside and pushed away. There's certain times that we need to not accept certain rhetorics as okay. And that rhetoric is something that I can't stand for. Because
it was like the match made in heaven, right?
Picture with Sarah Bond. I have pictures with Bonnie Ross. Nobody said anything when I defended Bonnie Ross. And you hear me say, oh, I love Bonnie Ross. Nobody.
Oh, we both did. Remember,
we was there.
Yeah, we were there. Yeah, we defended Bonnie. Like,
so,
yeah.
It's just everybody pick and choose things.
Mm-hmm.
It's certain things is a false flag to give you a fake narrative to run after the carrot. Look at the second picture. The second picture, the truth. I always tell you, and I'm not calling Jaffrey. I'm not calling Jaffrey the devil, but this is what happens. This is what the devil does. The devil can't lie. If you ask him a question, he has to tell you the truth. Now, in that truth, he can twist it, but he has to tell you the truth. First picture was the lie. Second picture was the truth. That's it.
Well,
I'm-
you should have the last word on it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He's you know what I'm saying? That's his family, that's his kinfolk. I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? And he also made an apology. When he doubled down
Yep.
to make the apology, that tells you right there that the man knew that he was out of pocket.
And I respect the
That's
apology.
it. Right.
I respect the apology because it takes a man to say he's sorry or to apologize, especially in the era that we grew up in. This is why I like his God of War. His God of War was the testosterone driven, egotistical, male chauvinistic pig, right? We grew up with that back in the 80s and the 90s, Terminator, Rocky, all that stuff, Archie Bunker. It's certain things that certain culture that we grew up in, is a certain mentality that we grew up in. And not saying that mentality is cool, and not saying that mentality is norm. What we do is we also grow as individuals, and we also have to shed some of those layers of some of that ignorance, so to say. And
my question,
yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off, King, but my question is like now that we know this, now that we have this, how do we manifest that and move forward to like make this stop like a domino effect that just keeps happening and happening,
Well,
falling and falling?
I think
like,
we've done that. From all the people that have come out to the level of defense that has been there, for all the people having podcasts, having the conversation around it, I think that a lot of that rhetoric would be not accepted anymore. All right. Y'all was having the conversation before I even showed up.
mm,
You know, so that conversation is being had and awareness is being taken all over the place. You got people that are in your chat that probably don't even know me. You got people that you talk to that go through your walk of life that probably don't even know me, that's watching you and trying to figure out exactly what's going on, right? But you're bringing awareness to them. So it's the same thing with K Mega. This is the reason why all podcasts, well, let me see, all positive podcasts should intermingle. This is the reason why. So, because your group, and I don't like to say fan base because it seems so slimy to me. Like, you know, your groups meet and they intermingle, and like minds tend to like the same stuff. There's a reason why I was going to lay down upstairs and y'all was on, and I was like, oh, let me check it out. Let me go give the like. Let me share this out. I do that, you know, and it's not something that anybody asked me to do, but it's something that. How many times have you been telling somebody that you grew up with, yo, I do a podcast, I do this, I do that? They don't bother to follow. They don't bother to share. They don't bother to look. And then they ask you sometime down the line, oh, yeah, what you doing on Saturday? Yo, you know I got a podcast on such and such.
right.
Oh, yeah, you do? That kind of hurts. But then you got somebody that's out in Germany that can't wait for you to show up, that don't know you from a hole in the wall, that's sharing your stuff out and loving everything that you do. So also you got to learn how to mingle with people that mingle with you. Like minds stick together. So we're going to spread the awareness by interlocking our groups. By interlocking our groups. So our groups talk to that guy, or this is a positive show. And then you start seeing it change. You start seeing everybody, oh, wow, yo, he was on the show. I like his stuff. Let me go over there. And this is how the celebration happens. I don't talk the talk just to talk it. I walk it. When you hit me in the DMs, like, what can I do? How can I start? And I will support 100% every time I can get a chance. I will not let you down. I will not fail you. And that's how it's supposed to be. And it's not just black, white, or any color, because I hang out with Colt, I hang out with Gaz, I hang out with everybody. But if it's positive and it's something that's going to get us someplace from where we were, I'm down for it. So I know old boy made a mistake. And he just need that coming to life moment. He needs to look and see, yo, I got to ostracize some of this stuff out of my Discord. This Discord ain't really all that good, because when he tells the story, the people was putting it in his Discord. So that means your Discord is tainted and it's toxic. And you need to find out exactly what's in there, because there's people with certain agendas on certain channels that don't like positivity. They don't like that. The negativity sells. So they want to push that. So if they're in his Discord, they're going to push that up to him. And he's going to regurgitate it without doing the background checks and the facts. Because don't tell me you didn't watch Iron Lord's podcast before you got on, because you're not going to jump on to something that you're not well versed in.
Facts.
Any
Oh, my
podcast I
goodness.
go on, I look first.
That's a fact.
So don't tell me you
Oh,
didn't
my
do
goodness. Yeah,
I'm just-
absolutely. I mean, I'm just going to go on ahead and say what I had put down because I was very aggravated. Like I said, when I first listened, or when I heard the thing with Colin, him, and Mr. Matty Plays, I was just like, okay, this is silly. But then when he doubled down on it, that's what hit me a little bit, and I thought it was just so just disrespectful. And here's my thought on the moment, because I wrote it down. I had a post of it on Twitter. I put rant mode activated. The fact that people are trying to shame others for meeting people within the industry they enjoy the most is beyond insane. You haters can talk about Phil and Aaron all day, but a big fan of Phil shouldn't be proud to take photos or eat breakfast with Aaron. Y'all are tripping. If I can't interview somebody because the person I ask only looks at me as somebody that wants to gain XP off of their name, then I think that sucks. But at the same time, I can't change your way of thinking, as fucked up as I think it may be with this subject. It's nobody's fault but your own if you think that people can't be genuine. That's it.
And I tell people always, the way you view people is the way you view yourself. Right? You can't, as children, we learn how to treat people how we want to be treated and how we seen. How our outside environment teaches us things. So if people have used him for his name, you get a little jaded. If people have done stuff to him just to, gain clout, then you get a little jaded. Our joint is, we grow up in this. We want to celebrate you. Like when I go to these shows and I see a lot of these, like Ron Ferguson and these guys, when I see these guys, I'm like, yo, I remember when I put on Gears and it was this, when we had Cliff on. And me and Cliff kicking it, I'm like, yo, you did this, that, and the third, and you changed this, that, and the third for me. When can we be a fan of something that we love? When can we want to have memories or take a picture with somebody that fundamentally transforms something that we love? But I think it'd be cool if it was on PlayStation side. I'm sorry, right now they don't do that.
Right.
So then that means it's a you problem, because you got a certain segment of the fan base of certain groups. They don't have access to the stuff that they love, or the execs that they look up to, or the execs that they admire, or the developers, they don't have access to that. So when they see us having access to the stuff that we're championing, that forms a level of jealousy and a level of hatred and animosity. Then you start to look over at what you don't have and what you feel that they have. Everything is attainable, homie. I'm going to tell you right now, anything in this life is attainable if you put your mind to it and go to it. If you stop worrying about them damn platinums and figure it out, it can happen for you. If you stop no life and stuff and get a life, it can happen for you. Because every time I go to all these shows, I don't see you guys, but I hear about you. Fix your life. And don't worry about nobody else's life, because my mother always told me, small minds talk about people. Large minds talk about change. Great minds form change. Y'all can see the small minds and y'all can see the great minds. We constantly working on how to change everything for the better going forward. I have no time to talk about other people's personal feelings or other people's personal thoughts or how somebody feels about a moment. That's how you feel about it. God bless and good luck with that. I'm telling you, it's not going to get you far.
Facts. Nope, it sure isn't. There's people that still do it to this day, and they ain't grown.
No,
No,
at all.
no.
I'm sorry, guys.
No. You're
No, man,
you're
it's all good.
100% in
It's all
pocket,
good.
King.
It's
You are
all
in
good.
pocket
It's
on
all
this
good.
one.
Especially, yeah.
But I do have to read off a couple of these super chats before they disappear. Bunty with a $10 super chat. Oh man, King. By the way, remember when I was just trying to get started and you just brought it up just a moment ago? You're like, bro, I remember you coming up and asking me what to do, and you said just get started. I'm reading super chats now.
Remember we talked about that too?
Mm-hmm. So you guys out there listening, I've been telling y'all, King was one of the first people I hit up talking about content creating because I was just like, where do I go? And King was like, go on YouTube. That's where you go. Just go do it. Just go do it. And if you need any help with anything electronic, I'll hand you over to Attic. But other than that, just do it. And then Attic told me, is like, what you got? He said, you good for now. Just go on ahead and do it. But work on the other stuff later. And I was just like, these dudes just telling me the same thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. But anyways, Bunty with a $10 super chat, which is I just think it's excellent that you're here. And now I'm reading off super chats. I just think it's nuts. He said,
now
enough
I'm
respect.
stuck with him. Now I'm stuck with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Thanks a lot, King.
You're welcome.
Bunty says, enough respect to King, Mega, and Ham. Now I've never been to any one of those shows, always wanted to go. And I have to ask, in the past 10 years, has anyone of y'all took pictures with the Sony executive?
No.
I took picture with Kratos and the little
Oh, cut that out. You talking about the cosplay Kratos?
What are you doing, K-Mega?
When my homeboy Super G, no, bro, I gotta tell this quick story. When my boy Super G, when we seen Kojima, my boy Super G went fanboy. He was like, "Oh my God, it's Kojima!" And so we like, "All right, man, let's go ahead and let's try to get you in there. Let's try to talk to Kojima, bro." They pushed my boy back because Kojima had a entourage with him. They pushed my boy back, told him, "Man,
it ain't gonna happen.
They ain't gonna happen, bro. Ain't gonna happen." And so, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was the closest that I got to a PlayStation executive. But, I mean, I thought if I say Kratos and that little, what was it, Astro Boy or whatever, that little
Astrobot
toy thing, Astrobot. Yeah, I took pictures with them. You know what I'm saying? So.
No.
Okay. All right, K-Mega. Anyways, Hargeet Shanit with the $10 super chat out here. What's cracking, Hargeet? Thank you so much for coming through, brother. He says, I hope this stuff gets ironed out. Certainly didn't expect all of this extra crap when I invited everyone to come come to my hotel for breakfast. If people don't like it, too bad for them. We're working.
You see,
and
Hard Geek knows because like I'm going to PAX West. That'll be the first time I'm going to PAX West. But I was supposed to be at E3. Hard Geek knows I would have definitely been in all of those pictures that were there. But it was something that if you watch the show, it was something I talked about. So Cog and Attic went out there while me and Stav stayed back and did the show. Show was fantastic, and they was doing what they were supposed to do. When I go to these shows, I absolutely go to work. There's plenty of times that I'm in green rooms, the media rooms, with your media bags, having your lunch and stuff, and you see all the execs there. You see all the people there. That's a no-fly zone. Those media rooms is a no-fly zone. There's no getting up, taking no. We are peers at this point, and I can't talk to you now. But when we out on the floor, we have a conversation. If we feel like taking the pictures, plenty of times I've been around these dudes and don't feel like taking the pictures because I'm working. I get to you when I'm finished, when I'm handling this business, though. But I get to that. But if we're in an event like a fan fest or something like that, hell yeah, it's picture time. We're going to do this. But other than that, I'm here to get content. because I got a whole bunch of family that want to hear things, see things, and know things. If you can't get there, if you're in a wheelchair, you're disabled in any form of fashion, and you cannot make it, or if you're working and you can't make it, or finances are just hitting you too hard, you can't do something, or whatever, you just can't make, I'm there for you. I'm going to get whatever we have squads, we have teams, we break up in groups. Cog, go big fish hunting. You got the big interviews. You go do that. Me and Sovereign is on the floor hitting like 50, 60 devs. Let's go get this done. And then we have writers going to get this information. And, you know, like Level 1 Gaming, when we was out there, I was giving them some tips on how to run the floor. You go up and down this way. And you just said something about hip hop. The reason why, and hip hop doesn't care about the views. He's going to tell you that off the bat. Hip hop doesn't care about the views because it's a bigger agenda with hip hop. And you can see, like I said, great minds change things. Hip hop is all about opening doors for that dude behind him. So he may not get all the views, right? All our great leaders may not see the fruits of their labor at that moment. But the people behind them is the ones that benefit. You know, I don't like to bring up, you know, like super icons, but let's say Rosa Parks and these, they changed things for people behind them. It might not necessarily change for them, but the people that came behind them, it changed for. Hip hop has opened doors for us like you would never believe. I owe a lot to that man, and he does it selflessly. So some people can't understand there's people in this world like that. And every time I meet another individual, it reaffirms that I'm on the right path for doing better and greater in my life. And the distractors, I don't care for it, man, because you're not going to take me off the path that God has set for us. Whatever God you believe in, whatever you believe in something, but believe in something good. And try to push for good every day. I love that Captain America shirt, by the way. I got one on my wall.
Oh, word. Appreciate it. Yeah.
I always look at everybody's background. I love that stuff, man.
That's fantastic. Got a couple more super chats I wanted to read off. Silent Cypher with a $5 super chat saying, anyone who gets upset or throws shade because you get to spend time with cool people in the industry is jealous. They don't get the opportunity. 100% true. 100% true. Easy. And then Mr. Joanna Dark with a $20 super chat coming through saying hello to Ham and K Mega and a salute to King David as you salute back to him. That's what's up.
Sure.
He says, I grew up wanting to be part of the gaming industry and community because I wanted to celebrate it. Fortunate to be part of it now. I don't like gatekeepers. Thank you.
Okay.
People are trying to make gatekeeping like a cool thing or making it sound like a new thing when gatekeeping is something that we've been trying to get past.
You know what?
Decades, centuries, whatever, however long you want to call it. Gatekeeping has been around since we know people.
You know what I can't stand?
What's up?
People that don't follow people back on Twitter. Like I remember very early on, somebody tried to shame me and say, you got as much followers as you follow.
Yes.
And I say, and I just had to shame him. I'm like, you're not special, bro. Anybody that says, yo, I want to follow you. Yeah, I'll follow you right back. Yo, whatever. If you're a negative person, then, I'll block you and get you off. But I'm going to give that follow because you took the time out to do so.
Right.
And you got to start giving respect. Is the moment that you start thinking you're above people. This is where the problem is, because you don't see yourself in that person's shoes. So you will automatically say something negative about an individual because you feel that you're above. You are not, man. You were born just like I was. You're going to die just like me.
Right. Everybody out here fighting for the same crumbs, and then they over here acting like they bigger and better because they might have a few more views or a few more likes or a few more subscribers. It baffles the mind to me that when people we all came in here. Like, I'm just a country boy from Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? And for what I have, and like, some people, well, Mega, you should be here, you should be there. I should be, but I'm not. I'll get there. The point of the matter is that is like what you just said, David, is that when you put forward your goals and your admirations, and you get there and you see that you like 1,000 was the big thing back in the days. And you get to 1,000 subs, it means everything. I got there, past that. The point of it now is where we go from here, where we go from once we get past 5,000, where we go from there. But the point of it is, even if I don't, it's about the love. And that's why I got into this. That's why you got into this. And then now you can make it into a business. Ham, that's why you got into it. That's why you people are listening. And the people that maybe that they're also content creators and you're just getting started, it's just like what I told Ham. Bro, don't look at don't watch people's channels that may be doing the same thing that you're doing and they're getting more views at this point. Just keep following the process and it's going to work out. That's all you got to do. And you always show respect and love for those out there that shows that same type of love and respect for you. I'm so thankful. I thank God every day that for the people that will just comment and hit me up. Sometimes it might get a little overwhelming sometimes when I'm playing the game and I'm into something, I'm like, oh my God. But you know what? I still take that time to want to listen to them talk because you know what? Damn, that person thinks that much of me to take the time out their day to want to speak to me, then I'm going to listen. And that's, to me, is the most important thing out of all of this, is that there's people out there that appreciate you like that. And it to me, it's the most wonderful thing. That's why I love this. I love it.
It's incredible. It's an incredible space that, I get to meet, like Hargeek Shani. just the man is incredible. Like there's so many awe-inspiring people that you get a chance to meet that'll touch you. Pause.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. Right. Hey, where's the button, Ham? Where's
No, man. Hey. Super special guest I didn't expect. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Man, I don't care who he is. You gotta hit him with it. You gotta hit him with it.
He gonna get that work.
Hit his ass.
There you go.
There you go.
That's the joint.
I gotta hit him, I guess.
Quick with it. Oh man.
But, I mean, there's people in this industry that help you move along with a positive thought in this life. And some days, you look at some stuff and you say, man, how has that happened? How is this person doing this, that, and the third? God does things in his time. Yeah. You came out, you wasn't walking, you were crawling. Matter of fact, you couldn't even turn over. You needed all the help that you can get. All you needed was love and support. That's all you ever need in this world is love and support. Yep. So as long as you get love and support, you're going to make it to wherever you get to. But surround yourself with individuals that love and support you. And anybody trying to tear you down, do not allow that in your circle. I'm telling you this. Understand what I'm saying. Sometimes it's hard to separate from individuals that you feel that you're supposed to be with. But if those people do not uplift you and do not help you to get to your goals, then you must separate. In order to be great, you must separate from those individuals that are pulling you back. And you got to rock with the people that are pulling you forward. And this is the reason why my team is so solid, because I'll give you a story real quick, small story. Somebody went at Attic on Twitter, and this dude's a friend to this day, but he went at him, and I guess he didn't know that this is I consider him my blood. Mm-hmm. So I went at him on Twitter back. So, and this was Tim Dog, one of Tim Dog's good friends. And we pulled up to the Fan Fest, and we hop out the Suburban. I know we had a Escalade. We hop out the Escalade. They thought we was part of they thought we was part of the execs or whatever. But when anybody see me in Cali, you know how I move.
Oh yeah.
I hop out, and he on the line with my boy Tim.
Shout out to the compound.
And I'm like, yo, remember that what you said? Oh, I apologize. This and the third. Cool. We're gonna keep that same energy. You're not going to be disrespecting people that don't disrespect you. Attic won't harm a fly. Attic is the most loveliest human being on the face of this planet. He'll give you the shirt off his back. So I'm a little bit rough around the edges. Everybody know that. So a lot of times dudes are very wary with going at me, but they think they got easy marks on the other dudes, and understand we protect each other like wild tigers, boy. And that will not go down. And I'll do the same thing for everybody that's in my circle. You know, Ham is in my circle, K Mega's in my circle, Lemon's in my circle, 100's in my circle. All these dudes is in my circle. Be careful who you talking to. Boom is in my circle. We all have a big circle of friends and family that we all consider friends and family, and will we defend each other to the end. I'm not going to let no slander go down on nobody's time, because these dudes are genuine good dudes, and they've only gave me good energy.
Facts. Appreciate
That's
it.
phenomenal.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I love hearing that. That's what's up.
Lemon too much damn energy, but yeah, to me, no. Shout out to 108. Shout out to 108, man. That's my bro.
I love Lemon's energy. Like sometimes I'm like,
bro.
sometimes I'm just like, Lemon, read the room a little bit. But other than that, I'm just like Lemon has that honesty, that honesty complex that's just that cannot be taken for granted. Like,
but he'll rock with you no matter what.
That's what I'm saying. I've had a few friends that are similar into the way they react and hang out and like just kind of like, you know, convey themselves. I have friends that are similar to that. Lemon, you know, he's one of a kind. But I have friends that are similar to the way they react to like that, and it takes sometimes like sometimes they get a bad rap. Well, sometimes they just get a bad rap because of how aggressive they come off. But I'm just like, yo, you don't understand. Like, that isn't aggression. That's passion.
Right.
He is very. I mean, sometimes, sure. Sometimes it might be a little aggressive. I've seen some bad Lemon before. I've seen some pretty squeezed, crushed Lemon before. Some frustrated Lemon. But I tell you what, when he usually opens his mouth, it's out of respect and usually trying to, like, if he hears something wrong, he's just trying to recorrect where you're driving, because he can see where you're driving, but maybe you just need to recorrect that course a little bit. And I appreciate that. Man. I appreciate that from Lemon. I appreciate that from K Mega. I appreciate that from you, King David, because I'm gonna be real. You guys are like the elders to me, man. I gotta look up to y'all.
That's why I'm rocking.
You guys have traveled. So you guys have traveled, and I'm looking for the road, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Just being
that's
real about it.
Yeah, because Lemon's an elder, you know what I'm saying, with his old ass. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta be somewhat nice to him.
Man, you old ass too. Don't forget. I put you in that circle too, son.
I let that beard go all the way gray. I said, no more dying for me. Once I got that point, I said, nah, I can tell people, hey man, respect your elders.
I ain't there yet, King. I ain't there yet. I'm holding on.
Don't worry about it, because you keep using that LeBron James color fade. That's what you keep using.
You got that just for men.
I transferred to something else.
Just for Mega.
That's all right. Yeah, just for Mega. That's what we're gonna call it. Just for Mega.
All right, you guys. I think with that being said, we're gonna go on ahead and get out of here. King, I really appreciate you pulling up. I did not see that coming at all.
No, you ain't getting away without that one topic. We're gonna talk about it. And I want King to say that we're gonna get out of here.
Fine.
But, all right. So here we go. All right. So
why you putting King in this?
King came in here, so he got
I gotta get the smoke. I showed up, right? Yeah, right. Lock the door. Lock the door. Don't let him
out. But anyway, here we go.
It's about to be a mess.
Right, so the Baldur's Gate 3 scene, right? Okay. Now, David, I don't know if you've seen it. I'm sure you have, and maybe you haven't.
Oh, I didn't.
But okay. So,
I want to play the game, so I didn't say anything about it.
Yeah. I want to play the game as well. But there's a lot of people that's trying to make a big controversy about this. There was a love scene in the game, and it was between an elf and a bear. Okay, so. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh.
So This is my thing. So like, Ham was over here talking about like, and so I'm like, I'm pretty sure that bear was probably like a shift change, like a druid or a shapeshifter or something like that. But we're talking about in a world of fantasy. So I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Ham Solo is gonna call me a freak, and I'm like, listen, there's freaks all out there. But no, that's not nasty, bro. It's a game.
No, that's
it's
not
fantasy.
nasty. That's bestiality.
Right.
It's
Like,
just
that's
a whole
what,
different thing.
It's just a whole different thing. But if there's people that's dressing up in pony costumes and furries and stuff like that, man, like, get your freak on. I'm pretty sure that shouldn't diminish the game for its freaky. It's just got a freaky level to it. I don't know. Since we got to guess, David, what is your thoughts about what I just told you about that scene? Like, I mean, I just think it's maybe art. Maybe distasteful.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can answer it this way. They must have saw Diablo and said, "How can we be different?" because I don't see any reason for it. But a lot of times I tell y'all, and I'm gonna keep telling y'all, the devil gonna show you one thing, and then the next one is gonna be the truth. And they gave you other stuff that I didn't see, and this thing here is the truth. So, with that being said, I don't know what they're trying to normalize, but when I play the game and I get to the scene, I will figure it out. But do I support this? Not at all. And now that you told me this, I'm like, wow, this has definitely added an extra layer to my day because I'm going to be telling somebody about this. Did you see this? Because I didn't. And yeah, it's different.
It was all over gaming Twitter. I was like, and so I'm like, what? People are tripping over.
He finna get that He finna get that unskippable cut scene. He finna get it.
Who me?
It's not happening.
That's that game.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh him. I was just like, no. I'm like, I just try to look at it from the sense it's art. It ain't the art that I'm into, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I mean, it's an elf. There's no such thing as an elf, and it's a bear, and they cut it off. You know what I'm saying? But okay,
Go ahead.
All right.
It sounds like somebody is in here, trying to tell you it's okay.
That's what
okay. I'm just saying.
K-Mega, I've been trying to tell you that.
It's art.
Yeah. It's art. It's art that you're privy to, is what it sounds like.
It's just like when somebody takes a stance of defense on something that's weird, it makes people think that you're okay with the weirdness. And anytime you're okay with the weirdness, do you partake in said weirdness? And
I will not make love to a bear. So you
said so dissecting the situation, you said there's individuals that's out there wearing furry costumes and stuff.
Yes.
Now, hey Mega, is this something that you would like to reveal to individuals?
I am too damn big to be putting myself in the heat in the middle of July. You ain't got to worry about that.
So you talk about only.
So he said it's seasonal.
He said the season calls for
it. Hey, maybe, but no, not now.
Whoa!
No. I'm not in the first.
There's a second picture right there. There's a second picture.
No.
Man,
hey, somebody said hot coffee 2.0. No. I'm not into the first thing. No, I'm a married man, so
K-Mega, you said I didn't want this conversation. Do you?
Yeah.
No. I'm just reading the super chat.
Hey, Dark Octopus said that K-Mega's always been a freak. I am a freak, but I don't dress up. I don't want to make love to no animal. I'm fine. You know what I'm saying?
He said not in the summertime. Call him in January.
Yeah.
Ladies, hit your boy
Silent
up.
Cypher with the $2 super chat. Hot coffee 2.0.
Oh man, ladies in the wintertime, that's when K-Mega gets started.
Oh man, catch me with his cold.
Grrr.
What? No. Yo, take us out of here. Take us out of here.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for coming through to the show. See, we called it the crossover podcast, but I'm not sure what we crossing over to, K-Mega. I don't know what you got going on.
Hey, in the wintertime, bro, with the crossover boy on my channel, you never know. Let's go.
He said,
All
"Don't
right.
knock it till you try it."
Wow. Anyways, thanks everybody for pulling up to another episode. Make sure you guys come through tomorrow. It's gonna be me and Loke. Loke always got some crazy topics to talk about.
Ain't
Check us
crazier
out
than
tomorrow.
No, it ain't. I'm going to the gym after this, man. Going to work off this frustration. Y'all tripping,
I
man.
feel like
To be
this is
honest.
July. You gotta wait to January.
Yeah, this man got to get stronger so he can handle that bear.
Yeah, they get their bear suit on. Let's go. Girl.
Oh,
All right, man. Let's get out of here.
All right,
man.
y'all. Y'all have a good one. I can't even exit properly this episode. Peace out.
Hey, man. See y'all later, man.
Oh my God, you got me in here sweating, bro.